no longer ashamed to be me. Now I know who I am. I'd walk with my eyes to
We
the
could
ground.
also use text to talk about this too, about how these things that happen to, like I said, our ancestors or our grandmother and grandfather, aunts and uncles, even parents, how these things had an effect on us in our lives today. You know, just so that we're kind of like letting them know, yeah, these things are still important. These things, they still hurt. You know, we haven't completely healed and moved on from it yet. It's going to take a while.
My spirit's undead. I look to forgiveness. It's the only way to move ahead. And I dream, I pray we all walk this way. All walk this way.
And I'll work on one too. Open up one more. My name is Jackie Travers. I'm an artist, and I'm here helping facilitate the workshop for intergenerational effects of residential school. Well, we want to see what the youth have to say, you know, and how they feel affected, you know, the intergenerational effects, and are the youth educated? Do they know, you know, what went on and how has it affected them today, how they see it affect their family members and First Nations and society in general. This kind of art project is really important to have in the schools, and I think a lot of people would benefit by it because it really creates dialogue between the generations and the youth, and we all kind of see, you know, where we're at in our thinking, and really the children really and the youth, they really know what went on and what's going on, and you know, they're really smart, you know, but there's some that, you know, that could benefit by learning more about what happened in the past.
This is my first picture, and my idea that came from a sketch I did a long time ago. Basically the idea is this is my family from, well, at that point that was my family. I have another 3 siblings that were added on, but that was my family when I was 4.5, and my idea is to have my family on there, but at the same time make sure that there's no faces as symbolic to the point where part of our identities were taken away from us through residential schools. And my whole family basically lost their tradie status through residential schools. And, well, this picture was symbolic to me because it's me and my brother. And I'm not allowed to see him anymore. And basically this picture, I didn't draw the faces because only I know what the faces look like. And no one else can tell me what this picture should look like because they don't know who it is and where it came from or anything. Basically it just looks like 2 children that were sitting side by side. But yeah. I like the idea of the no emotion in that one.
Okay.
And the clenching fist, I like that. And then I would like to also have an open fist as in letting go. Because there's so much stress that we go on, there's so much hurt and pain that sometimes is put through generation through generation. And I just think that some people just need to almost let go of so much of that like baggage that they have and all that burden that they carry, because it makes you feel a lot like lighter once you let go of a lot of things.
Yeah, it's like poison when we hold on to
And
that
forgiveness,
stuff, right?
and how forgiveness isn't of letting the other person off the hook, it's for yourself so you can move on.
Beautifully said, yeah.
Yeah.
In addition to that, we also believe that what's important when it comes to looking at the way that children are educated is to understand that because it took us so many generations to get to this point, it's going to take us at least a few generations to be able to say that we are making progress. We cannot look for quick and easy solutions because there are none. We need to be able to look at this from the perspective of where do we want to be in 3 or 4 or 5 or 7 generations from now when we talk about the relationship between Aboriginal and non-Aboriginal people in this country. And if we can agree on what that relationship needs to look like in the future, then what we need to think about is what can we do today that will contribute to that objective. Reconciliation will be about ensuring that everything that we do today is aimed at that high standard of restoring that balance to that relationship.
It has a nice balance. Like when I take a really good look and I squint my eyes, everything's just balanced really nicely on that piece.
I like how the residential school is in white because it's like hidden.
Yeah.
And how
yeah.
residential schools were hidden.
And it draws you in, to look at it closer, and then you see, the windows and, the building.
Put a little face
The
in
roof is kind of obstructed, like you don't really know that's a roof until you get a closer look and you see, that's a residential school. White on white. It's pretty cool. So for someone who doesn't know why they do things, it's a pretty good piece of work.
Yeah, I started off, it has, you can't see it anymore, but it has these like lips that kind of go up. And I'm going to repaint them once I'm done finishing my border, but...
Little what? I'm sorry, it has...
Little like lips that went up, like it was like corners that like were going up.
Oh, okay.
And it was supposed to be, like it's still supposed to be when I finish it though, it's going to be doors. And then once I'm done everything, like once I have all my paintings down and everything, like the last thing I'm going to put on, I'm going to write behind closed doors. And so that's why I have these doors kind of like opening and they're showing everything what happened on the inside.
So how have you gained this knowledge in terms of what went on behind closed doors? What's the process been like for you?
Well, both of my grandparents were residential school survivors, like on my mom's side. And like over my lifetime so far, I've worked with like the Truth and Reconciliation Committee before, and I've done like things with them before.
Again, I can help you. I'll help you too.
I don't know, I just think reconciliation is, like I like doing things like this, like I like doing things that are gonna like help people who don't know, like people who are in the dark realize Canada's dirty secret.
Very good.
How do you think that will affect our society? By teaching people.
Yeah, the red too.
I think there's a lot of people out there who are still like
So red would be good.
reluctant to learn, sort of, I
Doing
guess.
like splashes, like, no?
And they don't want to face the reality of what really happened. That's also why I like doing things like this too, like sort of a wake-up call for Canada, for the parts of it that
I was amazed.
people still
I was like, what is
aren't
sorcery?
listening and aren't realizing what happened.
At least it's magic right here.
Especially in neighborhoods like this, there's like a lot of loss of like people, like they don't know like who they are, like where they came from really, because a lot of it was like taken away, and that affects the way like the community is, because it's more broken, because there's a lot of like missing parts to people.
That could be anybody's grandma. That could be your grandma. That could be your grandma. That could be your grandma. That could be any one of our grandmas. And that it's up to your generation. It's up to you guys to be able to start talking about it, sharing this message, and about educating yourself and educating others. Because what Stephanie said is that it's too painful for our survivors to be able to share this.
Actually turned out really nice.
Yay, a mirror.
Okay, so here's,
What I believe the residential schools were trying to imply is that Aboriginal children weren't perfect, so they put them through all this stuff, and which seemed to be more puzzling because what is perfect then, if this is what they're doing to them. And in the corner I have a girl dressed in her traditional gown and hands dragging her. And there's a reason why they're dragging down, because it was a depressing time, and pretty much what they're doing is dragging us down as a culture, our culture. And in the bottom corner I have children spelling out goodbye, and at the bottom I put forever because they goodbye forever, because sometimes they didn't know if they're coming back or if they're ever seeing their parents again. Or else they're taken away from home, and sometimes while away in residential school either something would happen to them there, which would so they wouldn't come home, or something happened to their parents, so they'd never see them again. And I colored the letters red, yellow, black, and white, because we always have our culture inside us, no matter what. It's always there.
In the middle part.
In the middle part,
Yeah.
I centered a girl, because she looked very, very confused, and that's what happened to most of the children there. They came there confused, didn't know what was going on.
When this person's talking about, when Mr. Sinclair says it'll take a number of generations to kind of heal from the residential schools, and these other people who are writing in saying that, no, we don't have to embrace the Aboriginal culture. We are Aboriginal, but yes, we got to move forward and we have to embrace the Western culture. Some of you, in some of your stories, have shared that you did not necessarily have the opportunity to learn about your culture and to be able to learn the language and learn your history, which is one of the reasons why you chose to attend Children of the Earth High School, was to be connected, to have pride in who you are as young Aboriginal woman. So think about that also as you go out and take a look around our neighborhood, because our neighborhood has changed in the last 20 years. There's a reason why we have a school like Children of the Earth High School, to help share with the culture piece and the language piece. And that reason is because of what was taken at one time.
I feel people need to be heard, and if they won't listen to people that actually been through it, and if they really will listen to their own generation, then I'm willing to teach them how I feel about residential school and the effects it had. Now, hoping that they'd see what I see through my painting. The more that they heal, the more that they can tell, and the more that we know, our knowledge on the residential school, the more people know about it, the more they'll start believing in it, and the more acceptance. So once there's acceptance, then the survivors, they could see that it's not okay, but like it's okay to hurt like so, and more people will see.
Acceptance on the survivor perspective, or acceptance from the general public?
Everyone.
Everyone.
Yeah. Everyone needs to know.
As I am a woman of wrath, resilient, my spirit undead. I look still